Chapter 5 The Resistance. The death of the witch spread swiftly across the other world, but so did the rise of the Demon King, fierce and thunderous like a storm. The Demon King issued a bounty, declaring that anyone who captured Lin Chuan and his companions would be rewarded with a lifetime of wealth and glory. This forced the trio to become even more vigilant. Lin Chuan, Long, and she finally arrived at a small town near the territory of the Demon Bear. Their plan was to take a short rest, but as they walked into the center of town, they noticed a crowd of townsfolk gathered in the plaza, whispering among themselves. "Isn't he that?" Lin Chuan started, but Long quickly covered his mouth and made a gesture to stay silent. Lin Chuan nodded, immediately understanding, and quietly stood still. Suddenly, a villager noticed them. A flash of surprise crossed his eyes before he shouted, "Wanted criminals! They're here!" In an instant, all eyes turned to them. Lin Chuan's heart jumped, his body automatically shifting into combat mode. Long roared, "Damn, run!" Without hesitation, the three darted into a nearby alley, footsteps pounding behind them as the crowd gave chase. After running for a while, they suddenly found themselves at a dead end. Just as they were about to stop, a figure appeared at the end of the alley, beckoning them over. "No time to think, let us go," Lin Chuan whispered sharply, determination flashing in his eyes. The three of them ran toward the stranger without hesitation. At the end of the alley, the stranger pointed at a hidden door in the wall. Without a pause, they dashed inside. The moment they disappeared through the door, their pursuers halted, hesitating at the alley's mouth. As the villagers eventually turned away, the trio finally let out a collective sigh of relief. "This place isn't safe. Come with me," the stranger said in a low voice, leading them through a narrow path and toward the outskirts of the town. After a long walk, the stranger finally spoke. "I am a scout for the resistance. Don't worry, I'll protect you." He suddenly stopped, his eyes locking on She's face. "Princess, is it truly you?" The scout's voice trembled with disbelief and joy. She froze for a moment before nodding. "It's me, Your Highness," the scout exclaimed, kneeling in awe. She quickly helped him up, smiling gently. "No need for such formality. I am no longer a princess." The scout blinked, then nodded slowly as realization dawned. "The general has been searching for you." She tilted her head, curious. "General, you'll see soon enough," the scout replied with a smile. Lin Chuan and Long exchanged a glance, questions flickering in their eyes, but they chose to remain silent. They crossed several grassy fields before arriving at a seemingly ordinary village, though its people wore simple, even worn-out clothing. The moment they entered, the trio sensed a different atmosphere. This place was hidden. This was the resistance at base. From the distance, a man clad in armor came running. When he saw she, his eyes filled with emotion, and he dropped to one knee. "Your Highness," she gasped in surprise and quickly helped him up. "No more kneeling. I am not royalty anymore." The man looked up at her, as brimming with gratitude and respect. "I am Fan. Are you alright?" "I'm this too, Fan," she cried. "I am so glad you're alive. I owe my life to this too." Fan bowed gratefully to Lin Chuan and Long before standing with a wry smile. "Back then, I leapt from the cliff and was seriously injured, but some villagers found me. After a long recovery, I started gathering forces again. We brought together resistance fighters from across the land and formed this army. Here, we're hidden well. The Demon King's forces haven't found us yet." Fan continued, "We rooted ourselves in this land, and we're ready to strike back." Long patted Fan's shoulder, visibly moved. I ever imagined there were still people brave enough to fight the Demon King. Fan led them into the resistance as headquarters. It was humble but solid. At the village's center stood a massive underground fortress, though remote and secret. It teemed with armored warriors and carried a serious, determined energy. Lin Chuan looked around, a rare sense of security settling over him. At last, they had found a safe haven along with others who shared their cause. As everyone gathered to strategize, Fan shared more details about the resistance. The Demon King's 4 demon generals are still a threat. The northernmost one, the Demon Bear, is our next target. He is not only physically strong, but also wields powerful magic. Taking him down won't be easy. Lin Chuan stroked his chin, a steely glint in his eyes. He has to die. Our battle with him is inevitable. She studied the map on the table, her gaze complicated. His territory is nearby. We must be cautious. He is a formidable enemy. We're fighting the Demon King not just for ourselves, but for all who suffer under his rule. Long declared, slamming his hand on the table. The Demon Bear must be eliminated. Fan stood, his eyes burning with resolve. Exactly. We're ready. Let us mobilize, gather our strengths, and draft a detailed plan. The time has come to shatter the Demon King's hold and bring freedom to the world. The war room was thick with tension, but in everyone's eyes burned an unyielding determination. In that moment, the Demon King's shadow seemed to fade ever so slightly, and hope, long extinguished, began to flicker once more as the resistance gathered its forces. Lin Chuan, Long, and she understood their mission more clearly than ever. Not just to defeat the 4 demon generals, but to bring freedom and hope to a world drowned in darkness.